So I've done some experiments in the past where I was looking at ways to use uh, high density polyethylene plastic, which is milk jug plastic. Uh, it comes in sheets like this that are sort of like a cutting board, but you can also make it yourself by melting milk jugs after you've cleaned them and removed all the labeling. And I've made some pretty cool projects using this. But really, my interest was in something bigger, like say lawn furniture. Because I looked at this stuff from Polywood and I thought, holy cow, you could build that once and that'd be like the last lawn furniture you'd have to buy, because it would never rot, it would never decay. It's made with stainless steel bolts that won't rust, and God, you'd have a collection that lasted well, as long as milk jugs are moldering in landfills all over the country. It would last forever. And so I thought that would be a really great way to use milk jugs. And then I came across something that I liked better. And let's see if I can get that on the screen here. Whoa. So the one I've been looking at really hard lately is Faux Bois. And I went to this Garden Art Forum webpage and I found this, I wouldn't call it a tutorial, but more of a showing how concrete can be made to look like wood. And let me see if I can get a screen to roll down here. Ooh. Just a moment. And this is mostly the idea that you can take a piece of concrete mix and some other ingredients, and you can turn them into a beautiful table like this. In this example, it's a piece of art called The Hero, Faux Bois garden table. So if you look at the instructions here, 18 inches high, 25 inches in diameter, and if you look at it closely, this is what the frame looks like. Now, I don't know how well you can see that, but this is common rebar that's been bent into the circular shape, and then a triangle was added to that, and then a circle was added to the center of that, and then several branches, as you can see, big bushy washers at the bottom that they weld the sticks to, and then pieces that look like branches and sticks added. So I have the tools to do that. This is very exciting to me. When I first thought, okay, so galvanized stucco lath is next, and just a pair of tin snips and some stainless steel wire, and they are combining that with the rebar to make a wire work complete job. All right, so they've covered it with wire. So now you can also see that it's at the bottom of the feet. It's bigger, and as it gets towards the table, it gets narrower. It's starting to take on the shape and look of branches. Right, so they fill that full of a concrete mix. In this case, the concrete mix is cement, 1 part, and 3 parts sand. And they use that to make a coating. And then they use various tools like razor blades and pizza cutter wheels and other assorted goodies to make these lines in the concrete before it finally cures. And they do that to give it shape and form as a piece of a log. And they cut. Some cuts are really shallow, and some are deeper. And as you can see, they're building up the outside edge, but not the inside edge. They're on the bottom part of the table, so that it looks like a thicker piece of wood, right? And they're also carving big cuts in this wood, so that it can look like it's truly been weathered wood out in the woods. And they cut grooves and shapes into it, and as you can see in this shot, there's a big knot there on the left hand side that they've carved into this piece. And that's when I think it looks a little too perfect. I mean, I've never seen a piece of wood that was perfectly circular like that. It's a little too clean for my taste. But the idea is still pretty solid. You make these wavy, curvy lines, and when you're finished, you have a really beautiful looking piece. Now, in a couple of shots they have it here at the bottom, I can see at least 4 different shades of concrete stain here. In the center of that knot is sort of a golden color, and then the knot itself is gray, and then there's a brown and a sort of a black, possibly even 3 colors in the bark of that shot. And then this one, the knot that's recessed is golden and sort of a light color. But look at the detail work on the bottom of that foot. It looks like it's just been hewn out of solid wood, and that's concrete. And so I don't know that I have the skill to do that fine of detail. Look at that dent, great big dent across the front of that one. Alright, so to show you the kind of craftsmanship that you get from D. Tucker here, this is a concrete bolt. There's one on the top of the table in each segment where the branch meets the table. It's sort of be like something that you would use to hold a wooden table together, but that's entirely fabricated. It's rust-colored stain on a pentagon-shaped piece of concrete that's part of this mix. They just cut the divots out to make it look like a separate bolt. And then finally, down here at the bottom, when he talks about the fact that he rarely does anything but commissioned works, it's so rare that he's looking to charge, there's 3 of them that he made for this HGTV episode, $22.50 each, or for a set of 3 he'll discount them to $2,000 each. That's $6,000. He's making $6,000 for probably a 3-day set of work. So this style of woodworking, Faux Bois, pretty popular stuff. As you can see, a lot of the stuff that you see here, benches and tables and chairs, looking like they're made out of pieces of logs, stairwells, planters, lots of benches and places to sit that make up this type of mix. It's an art form, and one that I think it really captures my imagination. There's a set of mirrors I think that are pretty cool, and a table and chairs that look like they're all made out of logs. That kind of stuff. So I went down to Home Depot and I bought me a couple of sections of half-inch rebar and some plaster lathe that I can tie to it, and some I already have an angle grinder with a cutting wheel on it, and a bag of concrete and 3 bags of sand. And so I think this is my kickoff. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see if I can make a piece of Faux Bois furniture, just for my own use or testing, and see if I can make something of it. Not because I want to make money at it as much as I just want to experiment with this Because what I see happening is if I do it right, a piece like this would last forever. And it could sit in the front yard and no one would ever steal it because the thing can weigh like 800 pounds. And it would be safe and it would last longer than me. So I look at this style and I think that I'd like to give it a shot. I'd like to see if I can do something in this format. So this is my kickoff video. I've announced I'm going to look at it. We'll see what comes of it. Let's see if I can make something cool. Pieces like this that are antiques go for thousands and thousands of dollars. This guy in the center of your screen is Carlos Cortez. He lives in Houston. He makes Faux Bois. He's a third generation interested in doing that. A lot of the stuff you see around on the screen is showing up in a Google search because I searched for Carlos Cortez Faux Bois. He makes some really neat stuff. Bus stops. We're talking big projects where he's famous for making large objects that look like trees. He has some pretty neat stuff, and as I imagine what something really massive would look like, I don't even want to go on that scale myself. But these pieces would last a really long time. And here he is in his workshop making various things, stylish pieces of art, benches and tables and lots of fancy looking items that I think I could do something. I think I could make it look sort of like wood, and I think I could make it happen. Anyway, this video is getting long and I'm just rambling, but I just wanted to tell you about my Faux Bois project. I have the materials. I just need to go out to the garage and start bending them up and tying them together with the welder. So that's probably what I'll start doing tomorrow. Join me. I'll see you on the next video.